What would happen to your gas prices, your grocery bills, and America's place in the world if the United States walked away from NATO tomorrow? Because right now, in April 2026, President Trump is seriously considering doing exactly that. And the reason why should concern every single American. Picture this. U.S. forces are out there right now, actively protecting global shipping lanes and pushing back against a direct Iranian threat. And where are our NATO allies? Sitting on the sidelines. No ships, no base access. Nothing meaningful. President Trump has had enough. He's now openly considering pulling the United States out of NATO, entirely calling the alliance a paper tiger. And this isn't old frustration resurfacing. This is April 2026, and it affects your gas prices, your security, and America's standing in the world. So let's break this down from the beginning. On the 28th of February, 2026, the US and Israel launched Operation Epic Fury, a major military campaign targeting Iranian infrastructure. The mission was clear: degrade Iran's nuclear capabilities, hit its missile and drone programs, and push back against years of aggression threatening American interests and global energy stability. Trump was direct about it. America's acting now so we don't pay a bigger price later. Iran responded fast. They effectively shut down the Strait of Hormuz, that narrow waterway carrying roughly 1/5 of the world's daily oil supply. Tankers got attacked. Shipping slowed. Oil prices spiked hard. And Americans felt it immediately at the pump, at the grocery store, in their electric bills. Trump called on NATO allies to step up, send naval forces, share the burden, help reopen that strait. The response? Lukewarm at best. Spain closed its airspace to U.S. planes involved in the operations. Italy denied base access in Sicily. France and Germany raised objections. Even the UK, one of America's closest partners, drew a hard line, allowing base use only for defensive missions. Nothing offensive. These aren't small disagreements. This is NATO allies actively limiting America's ability to act during a crisis that affects the entire world's energy supply, including Europe's own. Trump's frustration boiled over in early April. In a candid interview with Britain's The Telegraph, he didn't hold back. He called NATO a paper tiger. He pointed out that even Putin sees the weakness in the alliance, and he made the case that America has shown up for its allies again and again in Ukraine, in Afghanistan, across decades, and now. When the U.S. needs real support on a mission protecting global trade, the response has been hesitation and public refusals. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, one of the more pro-NATO voices in this administration, said publicly that the U.S. will have to re-examine the value of NATO once the Iran situation settles. That's not political theater. That's a warning. And the numbers back up the frustration. America spends far more on defense than most NATO members combined. U.S. taxpayers and service members carry the heaviest load, year after year. The deal was supposed to be mutual. An attack on one is an attack on all. But what happens when it's not an attack, but a mission that protects everyone's economy and energy security? Apparently, that's where the commitment gets complicated. Now, to be fair, European leaders have their own reasoning. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer emphasized avoiding a wider war. French President Macron called forcible reopening of the strait unrealistic. Germany, Italy, and Spain all cited legal concerns and domestic political pressure. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte has been quietly working to hold the alliance together. These aren't crazy positions. Nobody wants unnecessary escalation, but from where America stands, the pattern is getting old. The U.S. leads, funds, and executes, and allies show up with conditions and reservations. Trump's position has always been simple. America first doesn't mean America alone. It means fair partnerships, real burden, sharing. If Europe benefits from open shipping lanes, stable energy markets, and U.S. security guarantees, then Europe needs to show up when it counts. As of early April 2026, Trump has signaled that core objectives in the Iran campaign are close to completion. He's talking about winding down major operations in the coming weeks, but he's been clear: no ceasefire talk, no normalization, until the Strait of Hormuz is fully open again, and the pressure is now squarely on NATO allies to prove the alliance still means something. This is the real question at the heart of all of this. Can NATO survive as a meaningful alliance if burden, sharing, stays this unequal? Trump is forcing that conversation, and honestly, it's a conversation that was overdue. Now, I want to hear from you. If NATO allies refuse to show up when America needs them most, should the United States finally pull out of NATO for good? Or is the alliance still worth fighting for? Drop your answer in the comments right now, and if you think Trump is making the right call here, type America First below. Let's see where this community stands. And if this breakdown helped you understand what's really at stake, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one.